Welcome to the LinnCam TV show, a show which focuses on local organizations, municipalities, and nonprofits right here in the city of Lynn. Here with me today, we have Candy Keeble, AJ Sang, and Hong Net. We're here today to talk about the Cambodian presence here in Lynn, as well as the Khmer New Year and the Cambodia Festival, which will be held on the 26th down at the Lynn Commons. So a lot of stuff going on. As a lot of people at home may know, Lynn is the #3 city with the most population of Cambodians in the entire nation. Hong, I think you had said before, Lowell is #2,
yes,
and #3 is in Long Beach. #1's in Long Beach, California. So pertinent enough, we're here with some of the specialists over at PACE. PACE is an organization which was started in the 70s back in San Francisco. It's been in Lynn since '95, I believe. You guys started with 20 participants, and now you're up to like 1,400. You've done an outstanding job. Let's talk a little bit about who you guys are and what your background is. Candy, we'll start with you.
Sure, thank you. So Elder Service Plan of the North Shore is actually the name of our agency, and as you said, we were founded just about 20 years ago as a collaboration between two well-known Lynn agencies, Greater Lynn Senior Services and the Lynn Community Health Center, to form a program to serve elderly who are frail in their health, in fact, frail enough that they might need a nursing home level of care, but for whom that was not a desirable outcome, a desirable community in which to live out their later years.
Right.
So these programs, it's a mission-driven nonprofit agency that offers several programs. One is PACE, P-A-C-E, it's Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. And we also have a contract with an organization called Commonwealth Care Alliance to offer a program called Senior Care Options, a SCO program, and we also provide adult day health. The goal is pretty simple. It's to keep people, as I like to say, allowing people to enthusiastically thrive in their environment of choice. So take care of their health, their social, their living environment, so that they can live at home with dignity for as long as is possible.
One thing they recognize is the the fact that we'll all be there someday if we're lucky enough, right? So long as no unexpected trains come or anything like that. But we'll all be there, and we'll have to make a decision at one point or another. Can I do this on my own? So what you guys do is a phenomenal, phenomenal thing. You're enabling people to continue to live at home, keep their independence, which is a huge thing for anybody. AJ, you're the Southeast Asian liaison over in City Hall, as well as the multicultural program specialist here at PACE, or the Elder Service Plan of the North Shore. Yes. Let's learn a little bit about you, man. I think you've got a lot of good stuff going on.
Well, my name is actually Kirat Sang. I go by AJ for most of the time. I arrived in the city of Lynn back in 2005 and discovered that there were a need for the voice of the leadership for this community, for the Khmer community in Lynn. And as you mentioned, we're the 3rd largest in the nation, the Khmer community, the Southeast Asian community here. So I always look for an opportunity to provide an opportunity to provide the service for this community along with my daily job. That's one of the opportunities that I saw at the Elder Service Plan of the North Shore, where with my role, I am able to do both in terms of doing my daily job at ESPNS and at the same time act as a bridge between the community and the agency and letting them know what the agency have. And of course, as liaison to the mayor, I also could act as a bridge to the community in whatever their concern and their need is between City Hall and into their daily life.
Outstanding. I just want to point something out, and how how thin this man has spread himself. You deal with 1,400 clients over there at the Elder Service Plan of the North Shore. And on top of that, you have to represent all of the Cambodians here in Lynn to the mayor and kind of let her know, what their voice is. So you've taken on a lot, my friend. I think that you're doing an outstanding job. Keep it up. And I just think that that's important to recognize. Now, Hong Net, you are a counselor at large for the city of Lynn. You've done an outstanding job. I think everybody really loves you over there, and you're doing a great job. I don't want to blow you up too much, but you know how much everyone likes you. Yes. I think it's really attributed to that smile and just your personality. I mean, like, you're so approachable. And seeing you on the streets, I've never ever felt like, I can't go up to Hong Net. He's a city councilor at large. I've always like, this is Hong Net. How's it going, man? What'd you have for coffee this morning? Anyway, tell me a little bit about yourself and why you're here today.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you for the Lynn Camp for having me today. And it's an honor to be your city councilor at large.
Thank you.
So I'm humbled, and also. I'm here today as also, just like AJ, as a representative for the Cambodian community as well, and also entire the city. So I have moved to this city 16 years ago, and ever since I have been involved in the community, have planning the Cambodian events and like New Year's, or I have been doing MC for 10 years. So this is going to be our 14 years. Celebrating the New Year in Lynn, so it could be the 4th year at the Commons.
Now, I know your story. It's an amazing story, Hong. I mean, I don't want to get into it now because I don't want to embarrass you too much. But if you've ever got the time to learn a little bit about Hong Net, you should do that. In regards to struggle, perseverance, this guy's it. And I couldn't be more stoked to have a city councilor at large, somebody who has your credentials and background. It's an amazing, amazing thing. So for those at home who are just joining us, we're here today to talk about the Cambodian presence here in Lynn, as well as the Khmer New Year. April is a huge month in Cambodian culture, as well as on the 26th, we'll be having the Cambodian Festival, which will be held down at the Lynn City Common. Before we get into all that, we have a quick clip of the Cambodian flag raising, which was held 2 weeks ago. Why don't we go to that, and we'll come right back and talk a little bit more about the culture.
And it makes me proud to honor the Khmer people by raising the flag during this time of the new year. So Happy New Year to everybody. I'll see you on the 26th over at the Common. I think I'm coming at 1 o'clock because it's also Bangladeshi New Year. From Little League to the Bangladeshi New Year to the Mayu New Year. So enjoy the flag for the weekend, and we'll see you on the 26th.
ជាការល្អដែលយើងលើករក្សាទុកនៅជំនាញទម្លាប់របស់យើងហើយប៉ុន្តែតែសំខាន់ជាងនោះគឺយើងជាសមាជិកនៅក្នុងក្រុមតែមួយគឺទីក្រុងលីនហើយគាត់មានកិត្តិយសក្នុងការក្នុងឋានៈគាត់ជាចៅហ្វាយក្រុងគាត់រីករាយនឹងបំពេញការងារដែលគាត់ធ្វើដើម្បីជាប្រយោជន៍រួមរបស់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយគាត់នឹងជួបពួកយើងម្ដងទៀតនៅថ្ងៃទី26ពេលដែលយើងប្រារព្ធធ្វើពិធីបុណ្យចូលឆ្នាំយើងនៅសួនធម្មបាទសូមអរគុណច្រើនដែលបានជួយមក
Welcome back. You're watching the LinkCam TV show, a show which focuses on local organizations, municipalities, and nonprofits right here in the city of Lynn. Here with me today, Candy, AJ, and Hong. We're here today to talk a little bit about the Cambodian culture here in Lynn. We're here to talk about the Khmer New Year, and we're here to talk a little bit about the Cambodia Festival, which will be held down at the Lynn Commons on the 26th. Cambodian presence here in Lynn is huge, and I couldn't be happier. I think the culture is phenomenal. Their set of values, where family comes first, I think is a huge, huge thing, especially when it comes to Americans trying to redevelop a more civil union. I think all that stuff is going to be huge, and Americans can actually learn a little bit from the culture. Hong, I think that you're probably going to be a little bit more knowledgeable on this fact. Let's talk a little bit about why we have immigration from Cambodia to America. And you know, Candy had made an interesting point too, to point out why Lynn, why Lowell. Can you expand on that?
Yes, I know why Lynn and Lowell, because it's cold weather. Why there? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that.
Why would they do that?
Okay. Yeah. So Cambodian started to migrate here since the early 80s. So because of the war in Southeast Asia, as you know, when the Vietnamese came to Cambodia, so the Khmer Rouge dissolved. So the Cambodians started to go to many different countries, but a lot came to the United States. So mainly Long Beach and also second and third in Massachusetts. So here it's cold. Why they come here? Because the job opportunity, and also with a few families started in early 80s in Lynn and in Lowell. So they start to open stores. They start to ask their family to come here. So the more they come here, they start to build temples, and also they start to provide services. Because when they came here, because they had no education, many of them because all the educators were executed during the Khmer Rouge. So they need someone to lean on. So particularly, so only people who can speak the language here. So that's why they come here. Not basically just to depend on them, but at least to be a part of it, so they can learn from whoever been here first. And later on, so more and more start to come here because, like I said, because the services are being provided, because of the community getting larger, because of the job opportunity. So there's the first generation. Then still, people still coming, so call it newcomers. So the people who come here recently, so they already established in their back home country because they have education already, so they don't have a lot of difficulty. But people who came in the 80s, they still face some difficulty because of the language, because of the ability to integrate into American society. But fortunately, because we have so many professionals, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have nurses, we have social workers, all willing to help them. So we are really excited about that as well. So then we start the organization here, so to help them as well. So that's why we are here, because of that.
Absolutely. I think, you know, it's interesting. So, you know, they come to America obviously because of the war, big part of it. But it was just a few families that kind of laid the seed to see what we've got here in Lynn and Lowell and Long Beach. It's amazing, and I think that the values that the culture holds are attributed to that as well. Stick with the family, stick with your kind, and you focus on the betterment of the all instead of the self. I absolutely think there's a lot to learn from the Cambodian culture. I mean, they've been around for thousands of years, right?
Right.
So I mean, there's got to be some significance to that. But another thing to point out is like once the presence of war faced, it's such a peaceful type of culture that they don't want to fight or risk losing other loved ones. They'd rather leave, take it what it is. You want to possess it, take it for what it is. We're going somewhere else, so we can stick with the people who we love. So when it comes to values, what would you say are some of the top values in the Cambodian culture?
Well, respect the elderly, humble, and so they value they value their family so highly, like you said. So that's the value that the Cambodian have, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be honest. I'm proud to be a part of it as well.
You should be.
It's when you have to respect, when you respect others, so you get to respect back. That's how I feel. And plus, they believe in Buddhism, so Buddhism always forgiveness.
Forgiveness is a tough one, man. I mean, I deal with it all the time. It's like, I'll go apologize, but did I mean it? And I think like Buddha definitely had it right when it come down to how you treat your fellow man. A lot of these religious leaders are not really dedicated to either one, but learning about the things that they said and the things that they preach, it has a lot of significance to me, just as a person. And the first rule that you learn when you're a kid, the golden rule, right?
Yes.
Treat others as though you would want to be treated.
That's right.
And if you follow that rule, you end up turning into a pretty nice guy because you don't really do not so nice guys things. Now, AJ, you came back here. You came here in 2005. You said, right?
To Lynn, yes.
To Lynn.
To United States since 1982.
Okay, so you were one of the firsts as well.
Right.
I was going to say, both of you guys' English is phenomenal.
Thank you.
And it's a completely different language. It's not like you're learning English to Spanish. There's probably a lot of adjustments that you got to make. But I just want to point something out and kind of bounce this off you. I was down at the Equal Rights, second annual Equal Rights Forum, Ford School, and there wasn't a huge presence of Cambodians there. They were talking a lot about how the government can help them out. And one of the panelists had mentioned that the government isn't there to help you out. You're here to help you out. You have the right to prosperity on your own self. And I'm not sure if their presence wasn't there because they're out working their butts off, but I really think that where you guys are now is attributed to that. You adapted to the American lifestyle and ran with it, and I think that it's easy to see. I mean, can I bounce it off? Would you agree?
Yeah, I was always introduced when I arrived in the United States to take the best of the two worlds and move forward with that. That means to find out what's the best in American culture and keep the best of the Khmer culture, and you live your life in this country moving forward in that process. Just to recap what Councillor Hong Net said earlier about the reason why we choose Massachusetts and we choose Lowell and we choose Lynn is that the job opportunity and the educations. As you could imagine, the Cambodia through all those wars, we have no opportunity to be educated.
Right.
So the parents that are survived and brought their children here, education was the main thing for them. They were willing to work 2 or 3 jobs just to put their children to school. And I could, as a living testimony to my own mom who said, don't worry about the job, I'll take care of it. You just focus on schooling. And I think after years gone by, that's how we, as Councillor Hong Net said, we produce the community as a whole, produce lawyers, doctors, and all that, doing laws to our parents who sacrifice their times in terms of going out work and support us. And so I just wanted to throw that in. And yeah, you're absolutely right.
I think that the kids in America today, although everybody means well, right? Like if somebody says hey, can I get a little bit of help? It's always easy to say, yeah, but it's when you learn about the job, you're like, I don't know if this is for me. But it just seems like that the kids just, respect is so huge. And you can see it in all the Cambodian youth.
Yes.
And I think that value goes a long way. Recognizing your elders and understanding that your parents are really your lifeline to everything. Food, clothing, and shelter, right? I mean, we're programmed as people just to take in our adolescence, and it's like, I guess this iPod's all right, and it's like, I don't know, I don't like the taste of this food. But, you know, I learned real quick with my background that I didn't owe them anything. I'm never going to have to pay for any of this stuff. But the one thing that I had to do was make them proud. That's what I owed to my family. And I mean, it just seems like it's instilled right at birth with Cambodian culture. So outstanding stuff. Obviously, I'm a huge proponent to what you guys do. I'm psyched to have you here. Candy, let's talk a little bit about the Elder Service Plans of the North Shore and how they're involved with the festival. You guys are, you've been involved for quite some time now.
We have. We will have a table at the festival. I would like to say that I'm surprised that neither of my colleagues here mentioned that one of the number one reasons I think the Cambodians come to Lynn is for the food.
Yeah.
The Khmer food is just phenomenal.
It's good food,
it's
man.
Really good. And I think that's important. So, for example, we serve about 80 Cambodian within our service area, just right here, and we strive to have Cambodian food a couple days a week.
Yeah.
So, but the one thing really that I think makes our programs great for this population is the fact that we can help them remain with their family in the community.
Yes.
And they are such a respectful and humble people that probably one of the hardest things is for us to help them to understand they deserve this type of health care.
Yeah.
They have always given and given and given, and for them to be able to, as you said, to take, like an American teenager today, they would never even, they could not even comprehend that. So what we have learned and are learning from these amazing elderly Cambodian people is, it's just priceless. So if we can do our little bit to help take care of their health and social needs, as long as they cook for me, I'll tell you, AJ has introduced me to...
Yeah, what's up, AJ? You didn't have any snacks here today?
He hasn't taken you to...
yeah, that's why you owe me one there.
His wife actually makes a very good salad, the papaya salad.
Yeah, that's good. I like the fried foods, obviously, because of my belly. But other than that, the fruits and vegetables too. It's very flavorful type of food,
good,
without a doubt. Now, PACE, Elder Service Plan of the North Shore. We had talked a little bit about the idea. What your organization does is enable senior citizens to live on their own independently alongside their families, as opposed to sending them to a home, which I think is outstanding. And when it comes to Southeast Asians and the culture in general, they have a certain type of respect for their elders. They understand how knowledgeable they are. They understand that everything is in the experience, and when it comes to experience, the older people have it all. So we had talked a lot about Southeast Asian culture and how important that the elders are to them, and that, you know, an organization like this was probably started in respects to somebody who was part of the Southeast Asian culture and said, I don't want my mom living on her own. I don't want my mom living in some nursing home where she can't do what she wants and pleases. She's been living her whole life this way. Why start that now? So it's definitely it's an invaluable thing that you guys do. Now let's talk about the festival. It's happening on the 26th. Hong, you've been a big part of this for a long time.
Yes.
Tell me what we can expect.
Well, gonna expect a good time. Could be a lot of food, like you mentioned about food. Gonna be a lot of different kinds of food.
There's music too.
And music, live band, yes, and
dancing,
and a lot of traditional games and traditional dances, and so. It could be a great time. So last year we attract over 5,000 people. So this year we expect more because we start to spread more to different communities,
Yes.
and I even announced at the council meeting
There you go.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You better, man. You got a whole bunch of Cambodians at
That's
home who
right,
might
yeah.
read me out if you don't.
Right, and we expect a lot of elected officials,
Yeah.
federal, state, and local, be there, and our police chief will be the keynote speaker this
Oh, cool.
year. So I'm excited. So please, if you have time, and
I'll be
stop
there,
by
man.
and
I will
have
be
fun with
there.
us. Like I said, so this is going to be our fourth time at the Lynn Commons. The reason we decided to do it at the Commons because we want to promote the culture, and
Yes.
also to show that okay, there's a culture out there who can gather a large amount of community, a lot of people. So
you.
before that, so we used to have at the Lynn Cambodian Buddhist temple
Right.
on Chestnut Street.
Right.
So
Right.
it wasn't a lot of people, but it was quite successful as well. So I'm glad that the city allow us to use the commons. So we appreciate that very much. So and I have to applaud to the community organizers. I'm a part of it as well. So they're doing a great job. And so from every year we start to see more and more participants. So Lynn will become the place for the Cambodian New Year.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Instead of Times Square, we'll be down in Market Square, baby. Guys, I want to thank you again, Candy Keeble, AJ Sang, Hong Net. Guys, what you're doing here in the community is huge. Continue to do the great work that you're doing. I'm Sean Donahue from the Lynn Cam TV show, wishing you at home all the best.